welcome to Soul Symbols. My name is Shelley. I'm a writer, an astrologer, and a card reader, and I'd like to welcome you to my channel. Happy Saturday. It is the weekly energy card reading, and what that is every week I post a video where you, the viewer, get to choose from one of 3 tarot or oracle decks, and then we'll go through and do a quick reading to see what the general energies of the next 7 days will be. It does not have to be the week of May 30th through June 6th, 2020 in order for the messages to resonate. If you are attracted to this video at any time, there may be some messages contained for you. Whenever you want to jump straight to your reading, the timestamps are always in the description box below. And as always, I'm always very grateful for my subscribers. If you like the content that you see on my channel, I would be very honored if you would like, comment, or subscribe. So we'll go ahead and get right into it. I am pulling out some more decks that we haven't seen in a while, so I'm real excited. I did get a little carried away. I've been pulling cards for myself a lot in the last couple days, and so I decided to go ahead and pull out 2 oracle decks just because they seemed like to be speaking to me. So I thought it might be a fun addition for the regular read. The first deck we have is the Vice Versa Tarot. And paired with it is a Dalmatian Jasper. The second deck is the Sun and Moon Tarot by Vanessa Decort, and paired with it is some Dragonstone, which is obsidian. And then the last deck is the Anna Kay Tarot, which we have not seen in a while, and paired with it is a beautiful smoky quartz. The 2 oracle decks, we have the Quantum Oracle by Sandra and Taylor, and we have the Intuit Nuance Oracle by Kimberley Fisher. And again, all the names are in the description box. Please forgive me, my plant is growing very large. His name is Bob. He might be photobombing. I'll try to keep him out of sight. But I will go ahead and freeze frame and let you choose. If you like the stone or the artwork or the timestamp, just please choose from your intuition. If you need more time, please pause the video, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, we're back. So let's go ahead and see. The Vice Versa Tarot is very unique in the fact that it does not have an official card back. The backside of the cards have an image. So as you saw, we had the 9 of Wands on the top of the deck. And this guy actually popped out like 3 times. So I don't know if that's an indicator of your week. I'm hoping not. But so there, when a card flips, the backside is considered the reversal or the inverse of the meaning, and we'll read it as such. So let's go ahead and see deck number 1 with the Dalmatian Jasper. What is the energy for your week? Deck number 1. Ooh. Oh, wow. Okay. We have a flipper. Okay. Hierophant in reverse is trying to pop out. Okay, and then the middle of our week. Whoa, guys. Okay, 3 of Pentacles is also, and trust me, if it's meant to come out, it will, but, and then the end of our week, please. It's the end of our week. Quite a few reversals, guys. It's not a bad thing with the cards that are coming out. So, oh, look at that. Oh my gosh, you guys saw me shuffle. The 9 of Wands came up on the top again. He ended on the top, so maybe it is an overall theme. We'll go ahead and keep this as an overall theme just because he seems to be related. All right, and please give us a card for the energy of our week. I do love this deck. It has a lot of energy to it. Okay, we'll go ahead and take both cards. And then the Nuance Oracle. Ooh, I keep knocking my poor Anna Kay around today. Oh, thank you. Wow, and that came out right on top of the 9 of Wands. I'm losing my fluoride in the pattern of my tablecloth. All right. Wow, guys. Whoa. Okay. Can I just notate? Well, we'll get into that. Sorry. I'm seeing themes. I'm seeing themes. So, wow, guys. Yeah, I do think that the card that kept popping up on the top, I think the Nine of Wands is playing in, I think it's a general theme of your week. At the beginning of the week, you got the Five of Wands, and oh, you did get it upright though. You got it in the upright. So you got the Five of Wands. And the Five of Wands, we had a tarot not too long ago on that. If you ever want to watch that video, it's here in my playlist. But the Five of Wands is about competition. It's about bickering. You see, normally what you see is you see five people with all carrying sticks of equal length, and the five people are like kind of almost in a play battle, but not quite. You almost don't know who's going to win. A lot of times it just means kind of petty grievances and getting into it. It's having to fight a bunch of battles, and you know, it just seems like the moment you get through one obstacle, there's another obstacle. It can also mean that there's a lot of just competition around you. Like there's a lot of people who are out to do the same thing that you do, and they're putting up blocks to whatever you're trying to get done. Now, what I think is interesting about this card is because this card actually is Five of Wands, but it only has two humans in it. And when you look at the ground, there's a broken staff between them, right? If this will focus. Focus, please. So you see there's a broken staff at their feet, and then both persons both have two staffs, two wands. And then you see that they're dressed kind of the same. They're just wearing different colors. And what I think is really interesting, and this is what I picked out, is that you had two quantum oracle cards, and the quantum oracle cards categorize at the top. They have 8 different categories, and they're color coded. Now, I just want you to look at the colors in this guy here, and then look at the colors at the top there. Tell me that is not a synchronicity. That just blows my mind. So if I had to guess, I would guess that you are this guy in the blue and the green, and maybe blue and green is and it's almost kind of a purplish blue too, but maybe it's because in this card it does look more purple, but it looks similar, right? Yeah, it looks very similar, right? It almost looks purple. Maybe it is. But maybe those colors are important to you. The other thing that I kind of get from that is I do kind of get a relevance to a chakra color. It could be the voice chakra, the verbal chakra, and the heart chakra. But I do think that this guy, I think this person in the reading that's the green and the blue, I think that's you, right? The other thing that you kind of see is this person kind of looks like he's defending his turf. And it looks like, again, anytime I see that broken staff on the ground, I almost think, you know what I think of is, that old adage where they say, I've drawn a line, I've drawn a line in the sand, and someone crosses that line, right? And then it's on like Donkey Kong, right? That's what I'm kind of thinking of. I'm not laughing. I don't think it's funny, but that's kind of the energy at the beginning of your week. I think you almost drew some kind of boundary with someone. I do think that because it's the Five of Wands, I do think it's some kind of competition. I think it's someone invading your turf in some way or shape or form. Now, the one thing about the Five of Wands is, again, you don't know who's going to win, because I think you are the dude in the green and the purple blue. I do. I think you're the green, purple blue dude. And it does look like you're defending your turf from someone who's trying to invade. But I do just see that, again, you guys, it's almost like I'm almost getting a feeling like someone is jockeying for position. That's kind of the feeling. So this could be work related, or it could be relationship related. Maybe you're in some kind of competition with a friend. Is what I'm thinking, because these two persons are clearly equal in energy, and they're dressed exactly the same, right? Like you don't know who's going to win. But the definite energy that I'm getting is I don't think any battle has begun. But the other thing that you see here is you don't know who broke the stick, right? Who broke the truce, right? So I do get the feeling that maybe you're hovering around a rival, someone who is of equal measure to you, and I think you're ready to do battle. You're ready to do battle. And by the middle of the week, and again, your theme being the Nine of Wands, and we had a tarot on the Nine of Wands not too long ago. Maybe the other vibe that I kind of get is that the Nine of Wands is a little bit of a paranoia card. Sometimes you might be afraid that you have someone invading your turf, because again, at the beginning of the week, it isn't clear who broke the rod, right? Like who crossed the line, but you're hovering around someone as if you're ready to defend your territory, or you're ready to do, you know how, I hate to refer to it as this, but this is what I think of. You know how when you break a treaty, you know how like almost like restricted airspace with certain countries, it's like, okay, you flew into our air zone, and then you're flipping open the plastic cover to a big red button to like, okay, should I attack this person because they invaded my zone? I am almost getting a feeling like you're at the beginning of the week, you're analyzing what happened. You're discerning whether or not someone crossed the line because the rod's broken, someone broke it, you know, what's going to happen. And you're ready to do battle, but you are hesitant because your opponent is of equal energy to you. Now, by the middle of the week, you got the Tower, and the Tower is directly above the Nine of Wands. So the vibe I kind of get from this, and of course the Tower is always a really scary card, and I want you to, there are no bad cards in tarot. I say this all the time, and actually Dalmatian Jasper is very lucky. Jasper is a lucky stone. And I just also want to reiterate that the Nine of Wands you're the person who will stick it out, right? This guy has one eye. This guy has one eye. You are not afraid to battle something out to the bloody end, and you don't want to have to do it, but you'll do it. So you're very tenacious, and I respect that because I always joke my superpower is tenacity. Tenacity is my superpower, but you're willing to go to battle. So if someone crossed the line, you're willing to kick some ass. If I'm allowed to say that on YouTube, but the Tower card always gets such a scary reputation because it makes it feel like something sudden happened. But we had a tarot on the Tower too, and what it is that the Tower is the faulty foundation of something. And a lot of times people see the lightning and they think, oh God, but it was just a freak accident that brought, you almost look at the Tower and think that it's sudden punishment for something, and that it's like you're getting hit for no reason. And what it is that the Tower is always saying a tower is a test of your foundation, right? I always like to think of houses in Florida, right? When a house is built, it's meant to withstand the storm, right? And the storm's going to come. Whether that storm comes tomorrow, whether it comes 5 days from now, or a year from now, 10 years from now, the storm is going to come that's going to test your foundation. And so what it's doing is, and again, these are majors. You got a major arcana in the middle of the week and the major in the end of the week. And what it is that majors, I've always said in the past, majors are not something coming out of the blue and hitting you in the head just on a Wednesday randomly, right? The major arcana cards are like the bigger gears of a clock. These are events that have been in turning for a while, and you're just feeling the energy of that bigger gear turning. You're feeling the energy more this week at the middle of the week, if that makes any sense. So the Tower moment, and again, the Tower is your foundation being tested. And the other thing that it is that sometimes you can feel like foundations are crumbling, right? So with this being at the beginning of the week and the middle of the week, what that tells me is that there might have been some ongoing, you might have had your defenses up with someone, and by the middle of the week you finally feel it's almost like confirmation, like, yes, okay, this person broke the treaty, this person broke the rod, I'm gonna have to take action. And that action, and actually if you look at it, one person's kind of wearing blue and one person's wearing red, so it is almost as if I don't want you to be afraid, because this is not anything new to you. I think you know exactly what this situation is. This situation does not feel like it's, the lightning can make it seem like it's sudden, but all it is that with the lightning and the all-seeing eye, it's like seeing something at a higher perspective. This battle, this hovering around each other, you know exactly what that situation is, and it's been going on for a while. You're just gonna, you know what it is that also in this card, you see the dove of peace, right? You see the dove of peace. And what that means, and to start speaking sense, I'm sorry guys, I don't mean to be all over the place with this. By the middle of the week, you're going to feel like some kind of foundation is crumbling. And the advice is to see this situation from a higher perspective, because you're going to have to let the walls fall, right? And you are going to find some kind of peace. You're going to find some kind of peace when everything falls down. And it's going to be very uncomfortable, right? Because again, you got the blue person and the red person. The other thing that I'm feeling is that I feel like both of these persons are equally affected. So, and remember we said these two people are of equal energy. These two people are equally affected, right? So there might be some kind of breakdown in some kind of relationship, or possibly a living situation that unfortunately is crumbling, but this situation is testing your reserve right now, because remember how we said the storm is always going to come. The storm is always going to come. And again, right over it is the Nine of Wands. And the Nine of Wands is resiliency. It's like saying, okay, I'm going to stick this out. This is a really sad situation. But it does definitely feel as if something is kind of breaking down. But once everything, and it feels bad, because again, you see flames and you see people falling. Once everything settles, you're going to be left with the same cornerstones, right? You're going to be left with a foundation on which you can build. So just know that this is an uncomfortable situation. It feels like something is coming to fruition, and there might have been some kind of catalyst to this too, because the other thing that I'm seeing is my attention is being drawn to the broken staff and the lightning bolt. It is almost as if somebody took some kind of action. And of course, the funny thing is that, again, in both situations, the lightning came out of the sky. The broken staff, there's no evidence of who broke it, right? So it feels like it was something that was meant to happen, and it's just a catalyst, right? This breakdown was going to happen either way, and it's affecting both persons equally. The other thing is, I do kind of feel like it's making both persons angry in an equal way. It's making both people standoffish. Let me say that, okay? Because actually right here, this is perfect. No one is really, you don't see anybody beating anybody up with a stick, right? You just see them hovering around each other. So both of you, I'm getting standoffish. That's the image in both of those cards. So, but whatever this breakdown is, it's making both persons standoffish. And the irony is that, and again with the dove, I think you're both feeling the same way, but because you're viewing the other person as the offender and you the offendee, and the other person feels like they're the offendee and you're the offender, because you're looking at each other in the same way, you're not in a place to empathize with one another, right? But that's the energy, and you are going to stick it out. I feel like by the middle of the week, all you can do is stick it out. And the other thing is that here, I'll go ahead and I'll get to the end of the week and we'll get into it. Now, the end of the week actually looks very peaceful, but you know what? It feels peaceful and almost the calm after the storm kind of way. I do feel like you might have some kind of battle with someone. And by the end of the week, you see how you got the moon in reverse and you got the Three of Swords in reverse. So, and again, I feel like by the end of the week, there's going to be that eerie calm. And when you see the two, the moon, actually, this is the moon upright. Sorry, guys, that's the moon upright. Okay. So the moon upright always has, first off, it has the two towers, and then it has the two dogs. And it's not really two dogs, it's a wolf and a domesticated dog. And then it has the symbol of the crab. It has Cancer, the symbol of the crab. And actually, 5, 6, no. Over the weekend, it's going to be a Virgo moon, so it's not going to be in the sign of Cancer. But the only other thing I can think of is that if you do have mutable signs in your chart, the Virgo moon might be kind of making you feel. By the end of the week, you're really going to be kind of in your feels. You are going to feel like something's breaking down. You're going to feel a little battle worn. And this is actually one of my favorite cards for the Three of Swords in reverse is actually about healing. Because you see the man looking at the shield, and the chrysanthemum is the most beautiful thing about this card, is that there's a little chrysanthemum, and the chrysanthemum is about forgiveness, and it's kind of about like a cathartic kind of purging. It's about letting go, but learning from the situation. So I do think that, and this person's wearing full armor, right? So I do think when you get out of this situation, you are going to feel battle worn. But what you're going to do is you're going to be kind of, you're going to feel kind of lost. You're not going to know what to do. It's almost like you're battling the two sides of yourself. You're going to feel, everything's going to feel a little bit murky. You are going to feel the loss of whatever's been happening. Like the best way I can describe it is you're going to recognize the pain that was caused by this situation, but you're almost looking at it in a detached way. You're kind of sitting apart from it and looking at it and going, God, now to be honest, I don't think that there's anything that you could have really changed. I think as this situation, unfolds, as it rolls out, I think you're going to handle it the best way that you can. So I don't want you to be afraid. The other thing is, this is just general energy. Energy can change from minute to minute. So, and just to reiterate, there is no card reading that could ever tell you what's really going to happen in your life, because you are the ruler of your life, right? You make the decisions. But I do see that you're going to handle it. You're going to handle it the best way that you know how. You're going to stick it out. You're going to be a trooper. The other thing is, I'm seeing a lot of soldiers. Gosh, guys, throughout the whole week, there are 4 soldiers in this read. Look at this. You got battle. They don't have armor here. And then you got the 9 of Wands. And then you got the guy wearing the armor looking at the pain, right? Reflecting on the pain, reflecting on the circumstances. And then when we get into your oracle, we'll see the last armored person. But just know by the end of the week, you are going to feel a little lost. Basically, you're going to be like, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be like, could I have done anything different? And the answer is no. Really, I hate to say it, it is. Sometimes events come through, because the tower is very much one of those events that the storm was going to come. The storm was going to come. How strong your walls were, or how strong your walls were built, right? And if it crumbles, it crumbles. And sometimes you have to let it go. But I do think that you're going to be pensive about it. I think you're almost going to, what I'm getting is, I'm almost getting a numb feeling. Like by the end of the week, you're just going to be kind of like in a daze. Like you withstood the storm, you weathered the storm, and then that's what I'm hearing, weathered the storm, and then by the end of it, you're still getting rained on. It's not lightning, but you're still getting rained on, and you're like, God, that was some stuff, right? And your oracle cards really reiterate this. You got mice, and mice is about anxiety. Fatigue, stress, worry, restlessness. The other thing is that mice is about something deteriorating, and again, I don't want you to be fearful. This is not bad energy. Actually, for having a tower in this read, this is really darn strong. To have the 9 of Wands underneath the tower is actually really reassuring. But it is a situation where something's breaking down and you feel at odds with others, and it's stressing you out. It's stressing you out. And again, you're thinking about it. Look at his face. He's like, what could I have done? And honestly, there's nothing that you could have really done differently. But I do think that the other thing is that with this card meaning paranoia, I'm getting a sense that you have to constantly be on guard. And I do think that this week, if you have to do anything, try to be good to yourself, because I think you're going to be in a constant state of worry or feeling like you have to do battle, like you're on guard. I'm feeling, again, standoffish, on guard is the vibe I'm getting. By the end of the week, it's going to be a little bit better. It's going to be a calm after the storm, but you're really going to feel a little bit adrift, and you're going to be looking back like going, how could I have made this situation any different? But the tower's the tower, and unfortunately, there was nothing that you could do any differently. Now, one thing that I can give as advice, though, is I can say try to watch your stress level, which I know is very trite when you're stressed out and crazy and you got unpredictable, crazy crap going on. But, definitely try to be good to yourself. Try to reduce stress wherever you can. Try not to worry about things that are out of your control. That's the other thing, is that the tower, lightning coming out of the sky and breaking down your whole world, that is outside of your control. And if you really can't do anything about it, it's gonna play out the way it's gonna play out. Just be strong and try to. The other thing about these two cards is it's about keeping your reserve. Because the Nine of Wands is about, like, being ready to fall over because you're so damn tired, right? Now, the other oracle cards that you got, and remember how we said this guy's wearing green and blue, and the top of this is green and blue? You got Discovery, which is really great, which is intention, and you got Courage. So, you know what that tells me? And again, with the blue and the green, I think it's telling you, because the other thing about the tower is that the card that follows the tower is the star. And the star is about when it's almost like a big purge. It's almost like, have you ever had those situations where something really devastating happened, and then on the other side of it, it's like, wow, that lightened my load, right? So I'm thinking that there might be something that's kind of displacing you, or might be something that's been going on for a while that's been displacing you, and it does make you feel adrift, it makes you feel lost, and it stresses you out. But all of these guys, remember how I said you've got armor. You got dudes in armor. You are the dude in the armor. You are the person in the armor. And it's telling you to have courage. And look at that. There's a brighter path ahead. Right now, the trees are kind of dark where you are, but look at that sparkling path ahead. And you see how the sun is glimmering. First off, the sun is glimmering off the coin. This person is a gold miner. And then the sun is glimmering off his armor. So I do think that there's brighter days ahead. I do think this week you're going to be feeling you're going to be feeling a deterioration of something, but I do think that the universe is almost saying, stay strong, try not to worry, look to the future, like discover new paths forward. I do also think that because this being money, I do think that it's telling you that you might want to squirrel away a little bit of money, or at least get a little bit of a financial buffer for your journey. But that things will get better, because again, that chrysanthemum is about healing, and it's about going forward. So I hope that resonated, guys. Wow. My thoughts and energy are with you, because that's a very powerful week. And I'll go ahead and put your Nine of Wands on top, because that was very apt. That's apt. He's a tough guy. All right, so deck number 2, we got the Dragonstone. The Dragonstone, the Obsidian, for all of my GOT fans. But let's go ahead and we're just like with the other decks, we're going to pull oracle cards to clarify. So deck number 1, what's the beginning of your week? Wow. Oh, you got the Queen. It's good to be the Queen. And then end of the week, please. And can we get a clarifier for the Six of Pentacles, please? Oh, wow. Okay. And let's get from the Quantum Oracle, we're going to get your clarifier. That's pretty darn clear. Okay. I think that's your card. And it's kind of cutting there too. It's the honoring path. And let's get your intuit. Wow. Oh, wow, that's awesome, guys. I'm seeing such a theme. That's really cool. All right. Now, definitely, I am getting a feeling. Okay, so first off, beginning of the week, you got the Queen of Cups. And, oh, I love this queen. I love this queen. I especially love the fact that she has a heron at her feet. And so the Queen of Cups is a very nurturing woman, right? She's emotionally in balance, right? She's someone who has a lot of love to give. She knows how to nurture people on an emotional scale. Like she knows how to be there to be the anchor for others. The other thing is you see a very full moon, almost like a mega moon behind her. So a lot of times that indicates you could be a Pisces, especially you might be sun sign Cancer or have some kind of stellium of Cancer in your chart, because she's nurturing, and also, or a Scorpio woman. But basically, and what I thought was awesome is that we're seeing actually this whole read, there are no swords or wands in this read. It is all pentacles and cups. And your two oracle cards have to do with earth and water. That's pretty darn amazing, guys. But definitely at the beginning of the week, I do think that you're going to be in a very balanced emotional place. Like, I think you're going to feel very emotionally fulfilled. I also just get this feeling as if I think you're helping others, because she's a very nurturing person. I think that you, at the beginning of the week, you might be checking in on your friends or your family. I think you are. I always see the Queen of Cups as kind of the emotional barometer. She can always sense when someone's upset about something. You can have a great poker face, but the Queen of Wands will see. Queen of Cups. We just had a tarot on the Queen of Wands. That's why I keep saying that. The Queen of Cups will see right through that, right? She'll look at you and be like, no, I can tell you're upset. Or she can tell when someone's lonely or someone's isolated, or she can tell when you need to talk. She can just kind of, again, she picks up on what you're feeling. So I do think at the beginning of the week, you're going to be kind of playing that role for both yourself and your others. But I definitely get this feeling as if, first off, because you see her cup is overflowing, right? She has enough emotional presence for herself, and it pours back into the collective. The other thing is you see this beautiful reflection, moon, and the moon reflects the sun's light, right? I do also think that you're going to be mirroring people, like whatever someone's feeling. I just feel like you're going to be a very strong conduit. It's almost as if someone's upset and needs to talk, you'll know that they need to talk, and you'll call them up and just listen. So either that, or if this is not your energy, someone will be doing that for you at the beginning of the week. And this could be your mother. It could be another feminine in your life. It could be a girlfriend, or the woman who represents emotional maturity to you. So it can be an aunt or a cousin, just some maternal figure that really, they're going to reach out to you and be like, hey, are you okay? And if you need to talk, they're going to be there for you. Now, by the middle of the week, you got the Prince of Pentacles. And yes, the Princesses are Cups. This is the Knight of Pentacles. So the Knight is really great. I think he's cute in this deck because he's got this, it's very Taurus. So if you know someone who's Taurus, this might be a figure. And you see how he's carrying the globe, right? And he's in his little chariot. And what I think is adorable is that the Taurus is the bull, and it is an earth sign. But the Knight of Wands is the slowest moving knight in the deck. And what it is that by the middle of the week, you're either going to be dealing with someone who's a little bit of a pokey guy, but you can see where they're going. That's the cool thing about the Knight of Pentacles, is it's a person who's on a mission, usually a financial one, or they're going after establishing things of value, right? And that can be, a lot of times it can be, it can be a house, or it could be personal values. But usually it manifests, it's physical. The pentacles are always the real world. Now, I think that by the middle of the week, you're really going to be in that energy. I think that you're going to be feeling like you're moving slow, right? The other thing is that the thing about the Prince or the Knight of Pentacles is you can see where they're going a mile off, right? It's almost like, it's like watching a turtle who's crossing the road. You know where they're going because it's a very clear line, but it's going to take them a while to get there. And that's the energy that you're going to be in. You're going to just kind of feel like life is going slow, but you're slowly but steady. I am getting kind of a turtle vibe. You're slowly but steady and going towards your goals, but that's going to take you a while to get there. Now, just beneath it, and these two cards popped out, right? You got the Four of Pentacles, and you got the Five of Cups. Now, what I'm getting, and honestly, if you can be a man or a woman watching this reading, but I do think that if you are a man, or if it might be that at the beginning of the week you have some kind of encounter with your Queen of Cups, like you feel really connected, like you want to reach out to this woman. If the Queen of Cups is someone else, you're looking at this woman like she's the most nurturing, wonderful. She makes you feel like when you're around this person, you feel like you're at home. This person is home to you. And they take care of you. It's almost like you could talk to them. Again, remember we talked about talking to them? You could talk to them for 5 minutes and feel better, right? And by the middle of the week, underneath it, the Four of Pentacles is really holding on, right? You see how the four sandcastles are around him, and he's really holding on to that pentacle. And then this other person is looking at this is the Five of Cups. And the Five of Cups is almost like mourning. It's almost like looking, you see the 3 cups that are floating in the lake, right? And then there are the 2 cups that remain on the shore. But you're preoccupied with the 3 that are floating off into the ocean. The other thing I noticed about this card is that all the flowers look like they're wilting, right? I think by the middle of the week, if this is your energy, and if you are male, or you can be a female in this energy, because, the Queen of Cups can be a person that can, sex makes no difference. By the middle of the week, you just feel like, I'm getting a vibe like you're going to have some kind of contact with someone. The other thing that I'm noticing is that on my tablecloth, you see the sun. I really, and the way that her hair kind of streams out to the side, you're looking at this person like they are really your world. They really make you feel at home. And I get this feeling like you want to travel, or you want to go towards this person, but you're stuck. Like you're financially holding on. Like it's almost like you have a lot to lose, right? The other thing is that the Prince or the Knight, he's on a mission, right? Knights go on missions. They're sent on missions by the King and the Queen. So it's almost as if, I can kind of read this 2 ways. You're either put on a mission by someone who's real emotionally close to you, like it could be a mother. Either that, or by the beginning of the week, you have this contact with this person who is just emotionally your home. But you feel like you really can't connect with them because you have other things to do right now. And it's disappointing you, right? But you have to stay on task. You have to stay in your direction. And it's going to take you a really long time to get your direction, right? And again, this is just a weekly energy. So in the middle of the week, you're realizing how much farther you have to go, right? You're doing your job, you're doing your task. You could be earning money, but you see you have miles to go, right? You have miles to go, and it's making you I really get the feeling like you might be missing somebody at the middle of the week, right? You might be missing someone, but you can't really reach out to that person because you're either busy, taking care of your finances, or you're holding. I'm definitely getting a sense like you're holding on to something. You're holding on to your power, but you are kind of regretting some kind of emotional past. Now, if you are the Queen of Cups, again, by the beginning of the week, you're really going to be in your energy. You're going to be very emotionally balanced. But it could be that you, as the Queen of Cups, might be missing someone. But you're going to stay on task, right? You by the middle of the week, you know the direction you have to go, and it's going to be a long road. And you're willing to travel that road, but you are feeling a little bit blue, right? You are feeling a little bit blue. It's almost like the task that you have to do is, it may not be the most emotionally fulfilling, but it's going to get you set up in the real world. Because the other thing about cups and pentacles is that they're parallels on the axis, right? Earth is the opposite of water. And Earth is getting yourself established, right? It's having the roof over your head. So you can be emotionally happy with someone, but that isn't going to pay the bills, right? So by the middle of the week, it's going to be very clear that you have to go on a mission. You have to stay on course. And you might be missing someone, but you have a lot to lose if you just give up on your journey now. You have a lot to lose, and you can't do that, right? You can't give up your power. You have to keep going. But it is just, you're getting an idea. By the middle of the week, you're really going to be, I almost get a feeling like you're bemoaning how far you have to go before you can make any changes to your emotional life. But you are keeping on the emotional level, though. I do think that you're keeping yourself in check, but you are missing someone. Now, by the end of the week, you got something you got some pretty nice energy here, guys. You got the Six of Pentacles, and you got the Princess of Cups. Now, the Six of Pentacles is that equal give and take. I almost feel like you see these kind of coins falling from heaven, right? And she's collecting them in her skirt. And then the Princess of Cups, you see like a dolphin, right? And a girl, the Princess of Cups is the Page of Cups, right? So, what I'm seeing is that and I'll tell you, the vibe that I'm getting is that you almost, by the middle of the week, you're going to be very on course, on task, and saying, okay, I'm not going to let anything distract me. I don't care how lonely I get. I don't care how sad I am. I'm missing this person. I'm going to stay on track, and I'm going to get my money in order. I'm going to do my job. But by the end of the week, you're going to be in a good place with the Pentacles side, because the other thing, if you can see this on the camera, this is water, this is earth, and then it's like reversed. This is earth, this is water, right? And remember, this is all earth and water here. I think that you're going to get into by the end of the week, you're going to get, you know what it is? The Princess of Cups is a little gift. And the thing that I notice is that the Five of Cups, that missing someone, remember how we talked about the wilting flowers? Then you see a dolphin bringing a flower, bringing one of those flowers, right? And dolphins, that's the other duality of this, is dolphins breathe air and then they breathe underwater, right? They're mammals. So they're of both worlds. Right? So I do think that, I think by the end of the week, you're going to be getting a gift. It's a small one, but it's like a little emotional hello. I think that you're going to have satisfied your real world responsibilities enough. Like, it's not a surplus, but it's success, right? It's almost like in the middle of the week, you feel like you're still so far away. But by the end of the week and by the weekend, you're going to get some kind of little blessing. It's almost like, okay, you've been doing a good job. You're halfway there. You've been satisfied. You've satisfied your responsibilities. You have done what you needed to do. That you're going to get some kind of little emotional boom. You're going to get a little emotional kind of hello. The other thing is that you see the moon in the same orb, right? It looks like it's a waning moon. So again, I think at the same time that you're feeling, just as you start to feel a little bit lonely, you are going to get a little emotional hello that's going to bring you a flower, right? I think something's going to happen that's going to make you feel in touch with that emotion that you've been kind of putting on a shelf, and it's going to make you really happy. So you are going to feel, again, the 6 is not the 10. You're not out of the woods yet, but it's almost like you're going to get a little emotional reward for working so hard, for being practical and putting the work in. The universe is going to say, don't be sad, and this could be some kind of message from your person. If this is a separate person, I am getting an energy like these are two separate people. But so you could get a little message from your person that really makes your day, makes your feelings just kind of swell in your chest, makes you feel good emotionally. It might give you that little boost that you need. And it's definitely near the weekend or over the weekend. And now the 2 oracle cards that you got, because again, we've been talking about water, earth. You got the element of water, which is artistic, emotional, enchanting, sensitive, fluid, compassionate, intuitive, romantic. And then you got balance, which is center, meditate, awareness, just right, equality. And the other thing I just wanted to point out is that the 6 of Pentacles, normally in the Rider-Waite-Smith, the 6 of Pentacles is holding a scale, and that's balance, right? It's balance. So I think the other thing that's telling you is that if your job is to keep a good balance between the real world and your emotions. And honestly, with the Queen of Cups starting off the read, I don't doubt that. I think you're in a very emotionally balanced place. But I do think that you just have moments of feeling disappointed or feeling maybe a little isolated, or like you're away from the person that you want to talk to. The other kind of vibe that I'm getting is maybe you're working away from home right now. If you're in the military, maybe you're deployed, or maybe you're traveling for work and you just feel really far away from your person. Might be from your wife or your girlfriend or your spouse. And you have a few moments where you're like, I really wish I were home, but I have to do what I got to do for work, and it's making you feel a little sad. But definitely by the end of the week, you're going to get the Page of Cups is a surprise too. But I do think that it's going to come right on the heels, again, with the moon being waning there. It's almost like it's coming right on the heels of you starting to feel a little bit sad. Now, the other card that you got is you got fear, right? And I think this is so amazing that she has water at her feet, right? The other thing that you get is that maybe this is someone that you're afraid to approach. But I am getting a feeling also. The other thing that, with the 5 of Cups and the 4 of Pentacles, the 4 of Pentacles is really someone who's holding on to their security. They have something to lose, right? And so the Prince of Pentacles is the Knight of Pentacles. He's not going to give up his security, even if it costs him, losing out on emotional connections. So there is a lot of fear there. I really get the feeling like this fear is associated to this overall theme, right? This woman here almost looks like this woman here. But I think it's really telling you that there's nothing to fear as long as you keep balanced, right? As long as you stay practical. The universe is, I do think that by the end of the week, you're going to get, normally the pages are messengers, but it is going to be some kind of like, I get the feeling like it's some kind of little emotional happiness just this little fleeting thing, right? And it could be related to a child. A child could do something very surprising that just makes your day. But I do think that it's going to be something emotional and just, again, compassionate. It's some kind of little message of compassion that's going to make you, it's going to encourage you to continue the work that you've been doing, because you have been keeping balanced, right? You've been doing the work. And I do think that you've been facing your fear. I think this week you're going to be facing a lot of fear. And by the end of the week, I just see really good energy. I see success and again, a little beautiful. And please let me know if this resonates. If at the end of the week you have some kind of beautiful little message of love, or just some moment that made you feel good, made you feel connected to another person. So I think that's coming for you guys. That's wonderful. But I really enjoyed that read. Wow, that's really good energy. I like that. All right, so let's go ahead, and last but not least, as I drop my poor obsidian. I'm so rough on my stones, I feel bad. Now let's go ahead and see. The last deck is Anna Kay with our beautiful smoky quartz. I don't know if I said that in the intro. And I'm going to give it a quick shuffle. I know that I've shuffled this quite a bit, but I really miss this deck. This one's a fun deck. It's very easy to read. And it's great if you're starting on tarot. If you're learning tarot for the first time, it's a very good, easy to interpret deck. But still gives really powerful messages, though. All right, so deck number 3, beginning of our week. Let's focus. Ooh, thank you. Okay, middle of the week, please. And end of the week, please. The Fool was trying to pop out. End of the week, please. Oh, wow. Gosh, guys, this is very appropriate. And you got 2 aces. That's freaking amazing. All right. And end up energy for the week, please. Energy for the week. Oh, thank you. And into it, please. Wow, guys, it's very, very clear. Your week is very clear. And it's very positive. That's the other thing, is that I'm seeing, again, we got 2 aces, we got 2 majors, and we got the Queen of Swords. Wow, guys, you're very much in your power. I love this queen. She's very good. But at the beginning of the week, what we got is, and again, there are no bad cards in tarot. We read them together, so this is actually not a bad spread at all. But the beginning of the week, you got the 3 of Swords, right? And the 3 of Swords is, you see a man there who's looking a little crestfallen, a little dejected. And at his feet, he's got a rose. In the distance, you see a house, right? And it does look like someone, like he's walked from the house, right? And you see a woman who clearly has red over her heart, and she's holding 3 swords. So the 3 of Swords is definitely like, it is like pulling a sword from your own heart kind of feeling. It really does look like somebody brought an offer, like someone had brought a rose, right? But something about this offer was a little off. It somehow, I always look at the house in the distance and think that's this person, this man who walked this distance, that there's almost like a third party involved. And again, that's usually what it means, some kind of third element that's causing pain or causing separation. I do get the feeling like this is a past energy, and what it is that the root of this action is this. So I think that I can kind of read it two ways. It either happened in the past where somebody was kind of reaching out to you, but they were doing it in kind of a third party way. They have some kind of obligation that interferes with your relationship. Like these two persons really do look like they belong together, right? They dress the same. He's bringing her a rose, but yet somehow she still got a stake to the heart, right? So there's something going on here. It could be that in the past that someone was honest about something going on. You might have recently gotten word about, maybe you were interested in someone and they had something going on. Maybe they have another relationship or another obligation, and they really put you in a bad situation. They put you in a situation that was not acceptable to you. Either that or they were not, making you a priority. And so what you did is, instead of, it was painful, it did hurt, it did cause rejection, like it made someone feel rejected, and it caused pain. But from that rejection, you got the Ace of Cups. And I love this cup because I really do feel like, I always feel like, especially in this deck, I always feel like the Ace of Cups means self-regeneration. I feel like, because again, on one side of the card, it looks like winter, and the other side looks like spring, and she's kind of holding that cup. And it's interesting, in the last deck when we had the Queen of Cups showed up, and she looked very similar because she's holding a cup that's overflowing. I'm just going to hold these two up so you can see what I'm talking about. You see how they're both holding a cup that's overflowing and going back into the water? It's almost like, I get this feeling like from this experience, it's one of two things. I read it one of two ways. You were either the Queen of Cups kind of woman, where you've learned enough in your life and you're emotionally balanced enough that if someone was trying to put you in a third party situation, it might hurt you. You might take the sting, you might take the arrow from it, but you're going to walk away. You'll do the right thing, right? Because you know yourself, right? You don't need to be in any third party situation, and anybody who would put you in one, anyone who would just do that to you, you kind of know that that's not love, right? You know that you deserve better than that. And so what I feel like is, at the beginning of the week, you're either remembering this situation, maybe this situation is fairly fresh and it's putting you in the Ace of Cups energy, or your Ace of Cups energy, like you being true to yourself, having self-love, because that's the other thing, is that Ace of Cups can be new love, but a lot of times it means self-love. It means, again, like being the Queen of Cups, you have enough self-respect and you have enough emotional balance that you're not going to do anything. The other vibe that I get from this is that I think that you would not want to do to someone else what was being done to you. And that showed a lot of self-respect. And definitely with seeing the Chariot and Strength and the Queen of Swords later, I think, can I just say, if you are a woman, you're one classy broad, because like seriously, that takes a lot of strength and it takes a lot of self-respect. And you know what it is that it shows a lot of moral integrity. So I know this is a weekly energy and I don't mean to get off topic, but basically at the beginning of the week, you're either going to be remembering like kind of this Three of Swords, or what might have happened is you might be in separation from someone, right? You might be in separation from someone. They might have this person might have legitimately been offering you something, but it was the offer was two-sided, because it would either mean that they were leaving someone, or that they were leaving or abandoning some kind of obligation. And that was just a stab in the heart to you, right? Because you don't want to deal with someone who's not making you a priority. You don't want to deal with someone who's going to put you in a third party situation. And I also just think that you are not going to put up with you would not subject someone else to pain that you would not want to endure yourself. And it's almost like you're dealing with that pain to make sure that it doesn't hurt anyone else. And again, that's very, very classy. But at the beginning of the week, you're going to be leaning on your Ace of Cups. You might be separate from someone. You might be missing someone. You might feel like really kind of a painful, but you're not allowing yourself to be the third sword. You actually, later on in this read, you take that sword out of your chest and you hold it up like, no more, right? Not putting up with this, right? This is not how I live. But the Ace of Cups is actually a really beautiful energy because it means, again, it means that at the beginning of the week, you're going to be feeling, and it's possible that you might, and I don't want to scare you. This is, again, this is very loose energy. It's, you might hear some kind of confirmation. Again, you know, there was some kind of situation that could have potentially hurt you. But I do get the very strong feeling, because the root of this, the root, your foundation in this is the Ace of Cups. So I do think that there's going to be some kind of, you're going to be okay. You know, whatever this crappy energy is, this crappy energy is most definitely on set. You're going to lean on you, and you're going to feel emotionally okay, right? You're actually going to feel a little emotionally happy, right? The other thing that I kind of see with this is because it's going from winter to spring, it's almost like you're not going to allow someone else's petty actions to make your heart cold. And I know the Queen of Swords comes across as a little bit of a cold character, but we'll get to that in a minute. I just think at the beginning of the week, you're going to keep your heart open. You're going to know that you took the right action, and you're going to feel emotionally balanced, even though at the beginning of the week, you might be feeling the aftershocks, like you might be hearing. The other thing is that swords are verbal, so maybe you might be getting some kind of third-party communication, you know, third party, you know, pun intended, some kind of communication. Maybe you heard from a friend of, oh, hey, did you see on someone's Facebook post they had, you know, they showed a picture of them and so. You're going to get some kind of confirmation that what you suspected was really what was going on, but I assure you it's going to be nothing surprising. It's not going to be anything that you didn't already know about. And it's almost like you're just going to kind of buckle down in yourself and be like, okay, well, I saw that a mile off. And, you know, the other thing is that it is, when it comes to karma and the energy, and I don't mean to get all woo-woo with this, but I've seen it be true in my own life, is that anytime you are feeling wronged, or you feel like somebody, you know, did you dirty or dragged you into some crap that you really didn't want to be dragged into, you know, if someone affected you, basically, and you didn't deserve that, the best thing that you can do is wish them well. And I know that sounds crazy, but you know how they always say that, you know, forgiveness releases two prisoners. And all you can do is say, okay, I'm happy for you. I'm glad. I wish you the happiness that I would want for myself, and just kind of let it go. And that keeps you in an Ace of Cups energy, right? It keeps you know how you deserve to be treated. The other thing that I also see is that maybe if you are hearing some kind of third party, and again, you know, gossip is always the worst. If you are hearing something that might kind of rehash some kind of old pain from, you know, a Three of Swords situation, or if you are missing someone and maybe you're seeing reminders of that person, the best thing that I always like to do is I always like to be extra kind to yourself. Like, really, like, I know it sounds so dumb, but, you know, imagine, just recognize what a good person you are, and recognize what a gem you are, right? Recognize how lucky it is that someone would be to be with you. And that is hard for me sometimes too. But what I do is I always look in the mirror and I say, oh gosh, I look real cute with, you know, when I'm brushing out my hair and my hair is all down, ready for bed. I'm like, oh gosh, I'm cute, you know. You know, any guy would be lucky to be crawling in next to me at night, right? You know, kind of keep that energy, because you know, and it's not to bash anyone else. Again, this is just you putting that positivity back into yourself. But you might be wrangling with that a little bit at the beginning of the week. You might be reminded of old hurts, or you might be getting, the rumor mill might be kicking up with some old crap that you already know about. And it's almost better to pull into yourself and keep your cup full, right? Keep your cup full. Now, by the middle of the week, you got some really great energy, guys. You got the Ace of Rods, you got the Ace of Wands, and you got the Chariot. Oh my gosh. Now, the Chariot is kind of blocking it a little bit. It came out as an angle, so I'm going to read that as a little bit of a blocking energy. So basically, it's still not bad. It's just kind of delayed, is how I read that. I think that you're really, and that's the second ace in this read. The first ace was a cup. The second ace was a wand, which is energy. Excuse me, hiccup. Oh, excuse me. Those come out of the blue. I'm sorry. The Ace of Wands is that spark of an idea. Like, you're going to get real excited about something in the middle of the week. And maybe this is something that's going to kind of distract you. Maybe you did get some kind of crappy news and you're really trying to keep your spirits up. So by the middle of the week, you're going to be, and honestly, this is really sunny energy. I'm very proud of you guys because you're keeping yourself in a good vibration. And in the middle of the week, you're going to get excited about something. There's going to be something that sparks, maybe it's a project. It could be a creative project. It could be a new idea that you had. But with the Chariot blocking it, it's almost as if you're gung-ho to start something, but you can't get it off the ground yet. Now, it could be because of what's going on in world events. Maybe you have this great new idea that you really want to get started on, but we're all social isolating, so you can't really go out to do it. The other thing is that maybe you're planning a trip. The other thing is that the Ace of Wands, now that we are kind of slowly reopening a little bit, maybe by the middle of the week, to keep your spirits high, you're planning trips, or you're starting to map out the rest of the year, like, okay, I want to do this, I want to do that. So it isn't all systems go yet. Like, you can't forge ahead, but you can plan, and it is making you excited because look at this girl. She's all like, and it does look like she's she almost looks like she's imagining like she's surfing or something. Maybe you're planning a trip to the beach or something. But the Chariot is it's a victory card, and it is the Chariot is also about kind of channeling opposing forces, using the energy of two opposite facing horses to go one direction. So but I do think that by the middle of the week you have some really exciting energy, and that's really go energy. I think it's action related. So I do think that maybe you have some kind of opportunity that pops up, and it's going to be planned for the future. And you can't put it in motion yet, but you will soon. And you're almost getting excited, like I feel like you're imagining you winning. That's the other thing, is that Chariot is victory. Like, you imagine you winning. Now, the other thing that I think is crazy is when we get into your Oracle card. Wow. Tell me there's not some synchronicities. We've had some synchronicities in all the piles. I really love that. So, now, by the end of the week, you've got some really nice energy. You got the Strength card, and you got the Queen of Swords. So again, I to be honest, guys, I really do think that you might have been through some mess. There might have been some kind of situation that really did sting, that made you feel. The Ace of Cups is almost lessening this a little bit, though. I do think that, again, I take the imagery really into account. To be 100% honest, I really do think that someone might kind of bring an offer to you, but you're not able to take it. And it really kind of breaks your heart that you can't take it, but there's some kind of moral objection to it. There's something that this person's asking you to do that you just does not sit right with you, because it would hurt someone else, or it would just not be honest. So instead, because the Ace of Cups can also be a beginning, but, with that rose on the ground, I just keep seeing that rose on the ground. I don't think that I don't think that you're going to be rejecting anyone, but I do think that there's something in this situation that doesn't sit right with you, and you're going to do what's right for you. And I think you're completely justified in doing what's right for you. right? But you are going to keep a very open heart with it. Like, you're not going to let this situation make you defensive, which is a really mature energy, by the way. That is such a hashtag adulting. Like, good for you. I don't think, I wonder if I could do that, because when someone hurts you and you still do the right thing, oh my God, you deserve more than a crown. You deserve a medal. But by the end of the week, I do see that with the strength card, I think, I think you're going to be standing in your integrity. I still think that you're going to be feeling the ripple effect of this. The other thing that I'm kind of getting is that I do think that you're going to kind of have a few highs and lows. Like, you're definitely going to be, one minute you're going to be trying to keep your spirits up, and then the next minute you're going to be thinking back on this and being like, God, did I make the right choice? So when you look at the strength card, that's what it's about, right? The strength is taming your base desires. And maybe on a subconscious level you wanted to accept, or you wanted to go with this, but in your heart of hearts you just knew it wasn't what you should do, and you're sticking to that, right? The other thing about the Chariot and strength is that it is a balance, right? It's a balance of opposing forces, right? You're keeping yourself. The other thing is that with the Chariot, it's keeping yourself on the straight and narrow, right? And the Queen of Swords is definitely about boundaries. It is quite possible by the end of the week you might have to reinforce your boundaries. Like, you kind of see that she's kind of standing guard. So it is quite possible that maybe you have to stand by a decision. The other thing is that these two characters really do look like the same woman. And by the end of the week, he or she does look a little bit, worn out. Like, she just made that decision and she's a little wrecked by it. But by the end of the week, you're standing in your full power and saying, no, I made that decision. I'm standing by that decision. And you are keeping your base desires in check. You may very well want to, kind of go with it. Now, the other thing that I saw that really played into this, and gosh, guys, your oracle cards got back and forth, and you see how he's like on a teeter-totter, right? And you see how she looks like she's kind of standing the bridge of two things, right? And when you look at the Chariot, it's two horses that are going the same direction, and the strength has a duality to it too, but what it is that I do think that the back and forth, I'm really getting a vibe. But the other thing is that your other cards is you got man, and you got it in reverse, which is the Ace of Hearts. Oh my gosh, which is the Ace of Cups. I really think this card plays into this spread, guys. The Ace of Cups in reverse. The Ace of Hearts in reverse. This is almost the same energy. If I had to call it, guys, I really think, and then the other card you got Bouquet, which is reconciliation, a gift, and the fact that it's flowers, and you have flowers here. You may very well be approached by someone. You might be approached by a man who is a little bit back and forth with his energy. This could be someone that I have a feeling that this person well, and this person might approach you, but it's very important that they be approaching you with an honest offer. Either that, or this person might be coming to you with some kind of truth that's really kind of hard to bear. And again, there's mountains in the background of this, which usually means, conflict and obstacles. And with the Chariot being at a cross in the middle of the week, I think that this one other way that we could read it is that you might be presented with some kind of offer of love that you're not able to accept. And the reason being is, and this new beginning, this new energy is kind of blocked. It's not able to move forward. But by the end of the week, you feel like you made the right choice and you're going to stand by that decision. But I do feel like the reason that you're standing by that decision is because I think that you feel like the person, I really do feel like it's a man who's going to approach you. And it feels kind of like an ex or someone that you know. But you feel like this person is going back and forth. Like this person can't decide what to do, right? Can't decide what to do. They really want to approach and make you an offer. You know, the other way I could read this too is that, and you can be male or female, maybe you want to approach someone, but you know that by telling the truth, by making that offer, it would be a love offer, but it would be exposing something that was not a real honest situation. And that you really think that this person is going to walk away because of that. Once they know the truth, they're not going to accept it. Even though it's going to give them something that they want, you know, by you airing the truth, that's going to be a hard pill to swallow, basically. So you're facilitating. You're going back and forth. You're saying, should I ask them? Should I tell them? But the fact that man came out in reverse, I really do think that it's someone who's afraid to come forward. Either that, or I do get the feeling like you know this person, and you know this person I think you know that this person doesn't step up easily. Like they are kind of a little bit of a runner kind of feeling. And if they do present to you, I think you know that there would be some kind of backstory. There's something else going on. But either way, I don't want you to be afraid. I think whatever situation presents itself, you have a gut instinct as to what's going on, and you're going to handle it in a very mature way. I think by the middle of the week, you are going to stay happy, you're going to stay in a good energy, and you're going to be looking forward to brighter things. Now, by the end of the week, I do feel like with the back and forth, I do think that you're going to be a little conflicted. You might, again, both these persons are like, you know, why can't this work out? You know, it's just like a painful stalemate, right? But you're going to by the end of the week, you're going to draw on your strength and you're going to keep your boundaries. And I also think that you're gonna view the situation from an analytical perspective. Like, I don't think the other thing I get from the end of the week is that you're not gonna let your heart get too far into the mix. Not because your heart is wrong, it's just because I think you have to stay objective given this circumstance, right? Whatever's being presented to you is something that you have to handle very delicately. And I think that you will do that. I think the one thing that you will do is that you will be verbal, though. You will say what you think, and you know, you will articulate your decision very clearly. But I do see that as a good energy, and I don't think that's a bad energy for the end of the week. But I do think that you might have some kind of offer here. And again, you might have to decide. You know, you might be a little torn as to whether or not. But I'm you know, and I'm not here to give advice, but I would just say that if it is a situation like that, I would say that with the Queen of Swords energy, your best judgment is on par, right? Like whatever you would decide to do would be the right thing, and especially with strength backing it up, I think, you know, you'll make the right decision. And even if it takes more than a week for you to come to a decision, you know, don't rush it. If the jury's still out, because that's the other thing, is the Queen of Swords rules justice, it rules Libra. If the jury's still out by the end of the week, just give yourself time, and I know for certain that you'll do what's right. You'll do what's right. All right, guys. Well, wow, that was some really powerful stuff. But I think all three piles are going to have a good week. Again, if it doesn't resonate, you know, please feel free to check out a different video, or, you know, maybe even a How to Tarot. You know, we pick piles to see how the card manifests in your life. But I hope that you do have a good week. And if you are, we have quite a lot of graduates coming out this weekend. So if you are a graduate, congratulations to you. I know this has been a very challenging year, but I wish you a wonderful day and so proud of your accomplishment. I also hope that you can join me on Tuesday. We are going to be doing the last card of the Wand suit. I'm so excited. We're going to be talking about the warm and wonderful King of Wands. So I hope you can join me then, and I'll catch you later. Bye.